I actually had surgery in 2020, in May of 2020. So what happened was I tore my ACL in 2019, late 2019, and I decided to continue fencing to qualify for the Olympics with my torn ACL. And I competed in 3 qualifying events, and maintained my world ranking of, I think, number 15 at the time. And then we experienced the pandemic, and that ended up giving me the opportunity to have surgery. But I was planning on fencing without my ACL in the games and continuing in that way. And, it was really challenging, but I also had some successful competitions. So I altered the way I fenced completely. It changed my game. And then I had to readjust after surgery. And I'm still learning about that and doing that now, even more than a year out post-op. My home is New York City. And so at the beginning of the pandemic, I was really isolated for like 3 months in my apartment and doing all of my strength and conditioning in my apartment with bands and med balls and using books as weights and, doing a ton of stuff like that. I bought a trainer for my bicycle. So I turned it into a sort of a stationary bike. So that was totally different from anything that, I had ever experienced before. And many other athletes I know have the same sort of story. And then after I had surgery, it was still pretty locked down in New York. So I was going to a hospital 3 times a week for rehab and driving there. And then I made the choice to, when I was finally able to come out to Colorado Springs and spend 3 months just in this bubble at the training center, which is where I am now. I would say my training is completely different than how I approached London. I'll also say, just with the theme of what I mentioned before, being a bit more mature and having more experience, I'm watching more video on my opponents. I'm using more sports psychology than I was before London, although I was also working with a sports psychologist before London, and just being really smart about how many bouts I fence, when I train, what I do in the weight room, etc. So yeah, I would say it's definitely shifted. I'm looking forward the most to just being able to shine and perform in the biggest event in fencing, basically, and show all of the hard work that I've put in, and prove to myself and my team and everybody else that I have what it takes to be there and to perform under immense pressure and under extreme circumstances. And then on top of that, to be able to compete with the 3 women who are on my team. The 4 of us have worked really hard together and put everything on the line to, have the best result that we possibly can. We've won 3 medals in a row at the World Championships, 2017, 18, and 19, including a world title. And the only thing that's missing for us is an Olympic medal. We have a gold, silver, and bronze at the World Championships. So I'm so excited to get out there and fence alongside them.